Winter is finally over. We've got a gorgeous spring day, not a cloud in the sky, and I think it's finally time to give this Kentucky Bluegrass lawn the first mow of the season. The last time I put a camera on this lawn was almost 2 years ago. It was only a few weeks after I sowed the seed. It was just coming in thin. This is 100% Kentucky Bluegrass, so it's a slow germination, and I didn't record anything last year. It was just sort of growing in. But we've got irrigation, 7 zones, 31 sprinkler heads, 1,200 feet of pipe. It was a big shift. So a bit of a wake-up call. This was sort of my test plot that I wanted to do. Didn't record any of it, like I said, but just wanted to get a nice lawn here. This was like forest 2 years ago. This is it. It's late September 2021, and I've started to kind of scrape up some roots and rocks and junk and try and leave some of the soil there because there's decent topsoil here. So yeah, this is it. I'm gonna kind of go to the dock, to the rocks here, leave this little point rough and raw and natural. Yeah, that's the property. End of September 2021. And here we are, almost 2 years later, and this is about what you can expect with Kentucky Bluegrass. This is a huge lawn. It's like 18,000 square feet. It's all on a sloped hill, so not a real easy one to do. I didn't baby it. I just sort of let the bluegrass do its thing. And in some areas, you can certainly see it looks pretty darn good. But in other areas, it doesn't look great at all. I just want to give you a realistic view of a Kentucky Bluegrass lawn going into a third season. Started from scratch. This is going into year 3. I've got a lot of these light green areas, and what that is young grass that I finally got germinated last fall. These were bald spots here, really hard packed area. I have like a clay-like topsoil that I brought in, and I just worked it too hard in a few of these areas, and I could not get grass to germinate on there. I'm not gonna hide anything. I'm gonna show you the good and the bad. I do have a lot of bad still. I have a pretty good slope here, as you can see, and I got my topsoil all down perfectly a couple years ago. And just before I was going to seed, we got like 2 hard rains, and it washed a lot of my soil down, actually into the river. It left me with some big ruts. I didn't fill them right away. It was just it was so frustrating that I just focused on the good part of the lawn, got that going. And so this spring I want to take some time and fill those ruts for sure. That's a really rough go as I'm going across with the Reel Mower. Also a lot of slope over here. This slope kind of survived a little bit better, didn't get as much washout, and the bluegrass has taken pretty well there. And I'm not gonna lie, I got a lot of snow mold damage that you'll see in the video. The first year I was cutting at about 5/8 of an inch with the Reel Mower, and the following winter, coming out of it, I had a lot of snow mold damage. So I haven't been applying any sprays in the fall. It's kind of a big area, and I'm just letting it go. And I had some here, and I should have just got out in the spring and kind of roughed this up a little bit better. But you can see the bluegrass kicking through. It'll actually come back and fill this in completely pretty quickly. The first year it happened, I kind of freaked out. I thought I lost a lot of grass, but this stuff's pretty tough. It'll come back and fill itself in fairly quickly. This is probably my worst bare area, and this was self-inflicted. I was fertilizing last year. I do fertilize every month or so, just with a granular fertilizer. And instead of closing the gate as I ended up here, I opened the gate wide open, had a bunch of fertilizer go down. I kind of cleaned it up, but not good enough. Definitely watch your fertilizer. Do not spill any, because it's like an atomic bomb went off here. And this is such a small area, I'll have a fairly easy time getting it to fill in this spring. Once the soil temperatures warm up, I'll top dress it a little bit and throw down some seed. The biggest problem with running a very heavy Reel Mower is it kind of does a little bit of damage to the newly germinating seed. So I do have a little bit of trouble getting it to come through. I damage some of it, I kill a little bit of it. So I try and stay out of those areas as it grows in. But as anyone knows, Kentucky Bluegrass, it comes in slow. So you gotta mow it at some point when it gets up there. So this year I decided no pre-emergent this time. I'm pretty good on weeds, to be honest. So I'm just gonna tackle all those bad spots that I just showed you. We'll prep the soil a little bit, add some topsoil, add a little bit of sand, add some peat moss to hold down the moisture, and then get some seed on that and try to clean all of those bad spots up. And then in the fall, maybe tackle a pre-emergent to get those fall weeds killed off. So I'm up pretty north to be doing lawn videos. It is the last week of April, believe it or not. We've had a cold 2 weeks. There was actually snow on this lawn 2 days ago. Not a lot, but about an inch. The trees aren't even budded yet. So it's still pretty early. The grass hasn't really taken off or anything, but it's definitely greened up. That last snow, it liked the moisture out of that. This is gonna kind of be a down and dirty mow. There's no prep work being done. I'm not getting the leaf blower out. I got sticks over there. I'm just gonna mow through them. Haven't raked anything, haven't cleaned anything up. I'm not even gonna trim around all my patio and trees here. So we got a good day, and the next 5 days look like rain. So I'm just gonna go for it here before we run out of daylight. If I leave it 5 more days with rain and some warmer temperatures, it's really gonna grow a lot. And with a reel mower, I don't wanna be kind of coming in here when it's too long. It's just not a fun way to mow. I got enough growth there. I don't know what we got there. 1.5 inches, 1 3/4. So it's gonna be way too long. I'm gonna cut it to 3/4 today, so we're already cutting 50% off. The old 1/3 rule is gonna be out the window. All right, enough about the lawn. Let's get mowing. I'll see if I can get this guy going. I got the battery charger on. We're gonna try to get it going, get it on the lawn. I can then check the sharpness of the blades with the paper and do a full grease job on it and then get cutting here. All right, here we go. Glow plugs warmed up. So this is the Toro 3100D, D for diesel. It's got a 3-cylinder Kubota engine in the back. And I will tell you, as a man, your life changes a little bit when you've got a diesel engine vibrating your spine as you cut the grass. I don't know if there's a better feeling. I guess it does kind of go against the green zero emission mowing world we have today with everything efficient and battery powered. So reel mowing takes a little bit of getting used to. My first year with it, it was kind of like, what is going on here? How does this work? And once you understand it, it's really not that difficult. What we have here is a terrible noise, but that is blade and the bed knife touching, and you want slight contact there, and you can actually cut paper with it to test. So if you don't have any contact there, the grass blade's just going to get sort of caught in between the two metal objects and not get a clean cut. I haven't touched this since last fall, so we'll see what happens here if it's close to being set. Oh, it's still cutting paper. Not there. Little bit. Very simple to adjust these mowers. I just have a single screw in the center. Some of them have one on each side, but it has a 3/4 inch bolt right here. And I just give that a couple twists, and now we'll have a bit more contact. That's cutting now. Cutting. We can cut paper. This mower has 3 cutting heads, 2 on the front that are easy to get at, and then 1 that's a little tougher to get at under the center of the machine. So I'll go around now, check for bed knife to reel contact, make sure I'm cutting paper all around all 3 reels, and then we'll get mowing. The nice thing with these units is they are made to cut grass like 40 hours a week, 50, 60 hours a week. For a homeowner, if you can get your hands on a used one, they should last a long time if you take care of them. They have so many grease nipples on them that if you just grease them after every use or two, all that moving parts are gonna just last longer. You can still find these units for pretty decent prices on online classifieds or at auctions. This one came from a municipality where they used it probably for a sports field. It wasn't used a lot and kind of taken care of. It sat around more than anything, which caused me a little bit of issue with the rollers. I had to kind of get those worked back to where I wanted them. But overall, the price of these things, when you find them used and older, when you compare that to a big box store's riding lawnmower, they're actually comparable. And when you look at what you get for the price, it's just not comparable. So it is greased, it's ready to go. I think the reels are sharp, and I haven't tested it yet. Just pull the camera out. Should have probably tested things first. But let's get it moved out of the way here and we'll do some mowing. Oh, I guess I ran it out of fuel in the fall. We're pretty much out of fuel. I gotta go to the gas station. Lucky for me, I can drive right to the gas station. So there we go. That was just a quick mow. The grass is not that thick. It's just started to grow. So I wanted to take a little bit off here. We got our stripes back in. It's funny how that bluegrass can hold those stripes all winter. I could kind of see where I was, and I have not cut this property in about 5.5 months. They're certainly not laser straight stripes, that's for sure. It feels like I was in spring training there. That's a long off season. I was a little bit rusty trying to hold the camera. I will say, the guys that do this on YouTube, lawn videos, it is pretty difficult to do all the shooting and the camera work and also cut the lawn. So respect to those guys. This was really just a quick little video on what you got after 2 years with a Kentucky Bluegrass lawn. This is 100% Kentucky Bluegrass, and it takes some time. Let the bluegrass do its own thing. Don't push it, don't rush it, don't throw all kinds of chemical fertilizers at it. I fertilize a little bit here, but don't go crazy. Bluegrass is notorious to start slow. Grow slow, but it fills itself in. Last year was the first year I could really see it start to fill in. Those rhizomes shoot out, pop another piece of grass up. It's super cool. It really starts to fill in, so don't sweat it. For me, this was just a really good 1.5-year project where it got me comfortable with mowing low, working with premium grass seed, because we have the biggest project of all back here, and that is a backyard golf course, doing that 2-hole, 2 greens, bent grass greens. We've got about 105, 110 yards between them. Gonna try to get down some ryegrass on the fairway, some bluegrass in the rough, the bent grass on the greens, and that's going to be a crazy project. I'm gonna finally do it this year. But yeah, I just wanted to show you what the bluegrass lawn looks like after a couple years. If you started one and you went with pure bluegrass, just give it time. It's amazing. Look away, walk away, don't panic, it'll come through. This is gonna get a lot better because this is really early in the season. I'll bring the camera back out again as it starts to green up here as we get some heat and that soil warms up. So thanks for watching this one. I'm gonna clean everything up and get ready for the rain coming.